Hey, it's Rob Rush, and we are almost upon Loud Island Bite Bash, March 12th, UBS Arena. 3 days grace, I Prevail, Sleep Theory, and the band that I am about to, well, the lead singer that I'm about to talk to, the band is The Funeral Portrait. Lee Jennings is with me, as you can see, and man, what a whirlwind year. Plus, it's been for you guys, all positive as well. So thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's been absolutely insane. And thank you so much for having me.
I mean, not many, I don't want to say baby bands, but a newer band. Not many newer bands this day and age. This is technically it's your second album, but it's the first with Better Noise. All three of the singles that you released, you had Welcome to Suffocate City. You had Dark Thoughts, which is the recent one. You had Holy Water, and then you had a different version of Holy Water with Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch. All of those songs went to number one. I mean, was that something that you even thought could ever have happened? For the first time, basically, you're out there and you're getting all the support.
No, not at all. I think here's the deal, right? Because we call this last record our debut record, right? So
Mhm.
double debut record, because we don't play like any of the older stuff. It was such a different band. There's so many different members. It was just one of these things that it took a while to
Yeah.
find the right guys, right? To make this dream happen. And that means even just not just the members, but our label at Better Noise, to our incredible radio team, Jackie, and all these people, right? To like make this happen. And for us, when we were writing this record, we started writing this record in like 2018. And then
Wow.
all of a sudden, then we got stuck with COVID, and then we
Mhm.
got this, and then we got that. It was always these things that set us back, set us back. And then finally, when it started rolling, it started rolling,
Yeah.
and it was one of these things that, Suffocate City went number one first, and we were like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy. And then it was Holy Water, and we're like, oh, wait, that's kind of crazy. And like Holy Water was up there for like 4 or 5 weeks too.
Up there for a
It's
while.
like a
Yeah.
month, and I'm like, what? Like that was weird. That one was like weird. And then of course, then Dark Thoughts just recently did it. And I think the best thing about Dark Thoughts is it didn't have a feature because
Yeah.
like Suffocate City had Spencer from Ice Nine, and then Holy Water had Ivan from Five Finger.
Yep.
So this one just being us felt, I don't want to say the other two weren't real, but it was like we did that,
Yeah.
like
Somebody said,
that's.
was that the song that got you guys signed? I don't know. Somebody said, was it Dark
No, so
Thoughts?
Holy Water was.
Holy
Holy
Water.
Water was.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So the OG version, we released it in 2019, and Better Noise heard it, and they were like, yo, we need this band. And then we signed, and then all of a sudden,
Well,
COVID hit.
so yeah,
So,
put me in that state for a second because like
yeah.
that's definitely got to be like a little worrisome for a band. You want this thing and you get it. You get signed. You got the big backing behind you with Better Noise. You got a great team like with Jackie. And then all of a sudden the world literally shuts down. Were you thinking like, what the hell is going to happen to me now?
Oh, you have no idea. You know what I mean? Like you have no idea. I think for me, I remember, so like I'm in my bedroom right now, right? Like I remember being in my bedroom in getting that call because we had plans to start writing and record, or actually like recording the record. And what we were doing is we were going to go down to Florida and rent like a Airbnb, and we
Yeah.
were going to track the whole thing. We were going to like rent a bunch of equipment and everything. And like for like a month and a half, we were going to rent this Airbnb. And then, because we had a lot of songs like written already, we just didn't
Mhm.
track them. And then I got that call. I was literally in my bedroom, and it was like, hey, so we need to push it back because of COVID. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, we could just still go get an Airbnb. It's just us, And it was like, well, the label doesn't want to spend the money. We need to hold off real fast just because no one knows what's going on. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we waited. And then finally we were like, screw this. Let's go. So we started working on new songs via like Zoom, literally like
Okay.
how you and I are talking. And
Mhm.
one of those songs was Suffocate City. And it's not really a COVID song. It's more about being stuck in like a really crappy relationship, right? And you're finally out, you're finally free,
Mhm.
and or a job or whatever it may be
Whatever.
that
Yeah.
you want to be. But it was almost kind of a little bit like the situation that we were in, at least personally, with being like stuck in this weird purgatory of being this band that had just got signed. Holy Water was like on a few radio stations by itself, like just few. It was doing what it needed to get the attention,
Sure.
and then we were stuck. And finally though we just did it ourselves. Basically we were like, okay, we're gonna break through this, we're gonna just keep working on this record, and we took about 2 years to finish it up just because it was, I don't know, we there was not much that we could do,
Well, I mean, that
so
probably in hindsight, do you think that was better that you had all that time to finish it, Because they always say, what's the saying? It's you never make your album like your first album or your debut album, as you say.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's
it worked out.
crazy because for me, yes, at the time, hindsight's, I guess 2020, right, they say as well, because like I don't know, at the beginning, I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst time of my life. We're gonna break up. All this stuff like was
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
horrible. But then all of a sudden, now that things are rolling, there's not a better time for us to be doing this,
Yeah.
in this way. So what we decided to do is, and a big thing is we took a lot of this into our own hands, right? It's like, yeah, the label helped us get to certain things, especially on the radio side, right? Like that stuff, like, I don't know. Again, I grew up in like the Warped Tour world where like
Mhm.
radio wasn't even a thing, for all my, even like Mike Him and stuff, they were barely on the radio, maybe a little bit, but
Yeah.
like I don't think any of them had a number one. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it was really like that, right? In my world. So I never thought that that was even possible for my band until we were like, let's take it into our own hands. And so what we did is we started making TikToks and Instagram videos and whatever it was to get everybody's attention
Yeah.
about our band. And it worked,
Yeah.
and then from there we just kept grinding, and I don't know, I'm always about meeting people. I'm always about doing conversations like this and whatever it may be. And I mean, I do this at the merch table every single night, even still,
Yes.
like we did this big headlining show in Atlanta, which is like our hometown show, earlier this year, right? And we did like, of course, like the paid meet and greet and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the show, I still went to the merch table and I hopped over and I said, I can't take any selfies, I can't sign anything, but I'll help sell the merch. So I was there at least
Yeah.
talking and having that conversation and helping our merch girl like at least grab the shirts and giving it to the people and having those conversations still.
How
And
important is that for you to have those conversations with these people that are paying money to see you?
I
A lot of people lose sight of that after a while.
Yeah, well, for me, that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, people are paying their hard-earned money to come see us play, right? And it's like, I, yeah, the show is, I guess, worth the ticket price, but I don't know. Like, they trust me in holding their feelings, right? They trust me in holding their emotions and all these things because of the type of band that we are and what we sing about and all these things. Like,
Well, doesn't your
to
fan base
me.
have a term, the coffin crew, right?
The Coffin Crew, yes.
Yeah.
So we have the Coffin Crew, which is just the for me, I wanted just a name to kind of bring everybody in, and it's so
Yeah.
funny because now like our Facebook page has like over 10,000 members in it and stuff. And I'm
You
like,
don't need to brag. It's okay.
it's crazy. I was like, what? Lord, that was one of these moments of like, all of this has happened so fast for us
Yes,
over the
it
last
has.
like year and a half, 2 years, and a lot of it's from that tour that we did a year and a half ago with Five Finger, I guess this late summer will be 2 years, which is crazy. But like that was such a big moment for us that it kind of, we were finally like, oh, this is a thing now.
Yeah.
And now doing these shows and being like, oh my God, like, oh, last year we did 290 days on tour, right?
Wow.
And yeah,
Wow.
trust me. And with that, I don't know a lot of people that could handle that, right? And especially, no offense, the way that I do stuff where I go to the merch table every night. Like there was this show I remember we were on tour with Ice Nine and we were in Virginia, in Roanoke, Virginia. So it's technically a small town, like
Yeah.
really, like not an A market. I don't even know if that's B. I think that's like C or D market. No offense to Roanoke, Virginia, but my line at merch was from the second we got off stage. There was there was three bands after us, right? Including Ice Nine. Three bands after us. There was a line the whole time.
Mhm.
Plus, an hour after Ice Nine was done, I had a line. So I was at the merch table for like 5 hours. that night, and it just wouldn't stop. And it just was people that wanted to talk, and yeah, they bought something cool, but it was people just wanting to talk, wanting to be like, oh my God, thank you for being here. Nobody comes here, nobody
Well, the music
interacts
business,
like
yeah,
this.
radio business, the music business, what you're doing right now, it's about connection. And I think it's important
Yes.
now for people to see that, especially in this, we're living in really tumultuous and weird times. So,
Well, this day and age where everything's AI now,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like it's cool to have that connection with a real human,
exactly.
instead of people on a screen, even, which
Mhm.
I think people really embraced that post COVID a little bit, but now we're almost living through it again with this AI, especially in music. There's so
Yeah,
many AI bands and all this stuff that's like,
it's scary,
what? It's weird because I'll listen to a song now and be like, was this written by AI? Was this
Yeah.
done by AI? Like I can't even tell anymore, and that's how scary it is. It's just like, like my mom will watch a video and she's gotten really good at it, thankfully, where she's like, "Oh, that's AI, skip." You know what I
Well, you
mean?
can't even tell what to believe anymore. That's the world
No.
we're living in. You look at a picture and they say, this is so and so with so and so. Is it real
Are
or
you
is it not?
sure? Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Are you
And
sure?
that's what it is, right? It's that's the issue with online culture anyways, right? Is that's where it's at, right? Is like we are in this weird spot where people will believe what they want to believe, right? And the thing is that goes for everything, right? And so for me, I try and be that voice for the voiceless. I try and be the I don't know. I'm an everyday person, right? I'm very unique. I know that. I have green hair. I collect Pokemon. I love video games. I am
But that's
just
what makes
a
you you, right?
nerdy human. I love music. Music is I've been obsessed with my quote the Warp Tour world of seeing music for so long. I
Mhm.
knew every band member's name. I knew their favorite color. That was me. I was that kid growing up. I
So
read
what is it
every
like when somebody
article.
comes up to you now and it's like, Lee, I know your favorite color, green. Let's just say,
Insane.
yeah,
Insane. Well, it's insane. They know so much about me because I also give that to people, right? Is I let them into my world, because I know that's important. I
yeah,
know that I know that people want to connect, right? And I help them connect, right? I tell them that I go through the same stuff that they go through, right? I deal with the same crap that they deal with every single day. I take medication for my anxiety, right? I write songs about OCD and all these other things that I've been through and really crappy relationships, on both ends, or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. It's like I am human and I am the one person out there that is, at least in rock music, that I am 1000% okay with saying I am only human. I make mistakes, etc., right? But also, so do you, my friends. And
Yeah.
guess what? That's okay. And guess what? I have anxiety, and that's okay, right? I have depression. That's okay, right? Like, I think so many people want to live this rock star lifestyle, right? And that's the complete opposite of how I do, right?
Well, I was
I
going to
don't
say 290 days a year. You've definitely had a little bit of that, but yeah.
Yeah, but like you know what I'm saying, like as in the like partying and girls and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff, like that's the complete opposite of who I am. Like I'm not that person. I'm not I enjoy my rock star lifestyle is going to the merch table for 5 hours after the tour, after the show, and talking to every single person in there.
So
Like
people
I
that are going to come see you at UBS Arena, they're going to look forward to seeing you at the merch table. And you've
yes,
never
so
been to Long Island, right?
yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to do at the merch table, but I still go out and I find a spot. So normally what I say on stage at these arena shows is, "Hey, I'll be walking around after the show, come find me," right? So
Hmm.
like normally we find a quieter area up in like the lobby or somewhere, and I'll stand there and I've got like my assistant and she like helps at least with the line and stuff like that and make sure nobody's weird and creepy. Um and it's so surprising. You have no idea. She's literally like I don't even know. She's like 5'1" or something like that. She's a short little girl, but guess what? I have seen her
Packs
almost,
punch.
almost, almost beat someone's butt. Let me say that because they deserved it. They were being creepy or weird towards me, or like a mom getting a little too handsy on my butt or something.
Wow, okay.
Oh, it gets a
All
little
right.
crazy. It gets a little crazy. These
I
these
can
rock
imagine.
moms. So it's fun. But wait, but that's the thing, right? So like at that show, I'll be walking around, and that's part of it, right? And I do it as long as I can, right? As I try and not be rude, and I don't try and do it like during band sets and stuff like that, because it gets a little crazy. But like
Mhm.
I love hearing people's stories, and I love meeting people. And for me, I think that's what this is about. I think I, I don't want it any other way. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. No matter how big we get, I'll do it in some sort of fashion, right? Because like even at our Atlanta show, um, at first I wasn't going to go to merch because I knew that it was going to be a whole hassle. So I literally got down off the stage and walked to the barricade and like
Mhm.
signed stuff and hung out with them on like the barricade, and like they would move back and the next one they would move back. Like I did that at Louder Than Life this last year
Oh,
at
nice.
the at one of those festivals, and I literally like hopped off the stage, ran to the barricade, and I literally like went down it and up it, down it and up it for like 45 minutes until the next band was about to get on behind us. And that is what people love to see. That's what people want. That's that's what makes the funeral portrait. And yes, I guess the music's important and cool, but like for me, I don't I like music, of course, and I like the music that we play, but I do it for the connection.
Yeah.
I don't do it for the number ones, or maybe one day a Grammy nomination or something. I don't know. Whatever you could never do. I never even thought we'd have a number one. So I
Wait,
guess now I
three,
get
three
to,
number
yeah,
ones, let alone. Yeah. I'll keep on
off the
reminding you
s-
about that.
off the same record
Off the
too.
same record. And I
So
know we're pressed for a little bit of time, so I just want to ask you two more questions.
yeah.
One, if nobody's seen the funeral portrait and you guys live, what can they expect? Especially, this is your first time on Long Island, I believe, that you're going to be playing, right?
Yes. Oh man. You
You
know
played the
what?
city.
Yeah, we've played forever ago. We played is it Revolution?
Oh, yes,
It's
it's
yes.
no longer there. Yeah.
Yes. So we played Revolution. Man, when was that was
Well, I
a
think
little
they
bit right.
closed right before the pandemic, right
Okay, so it
after.
must have been right before the pandemic. I think we played
Yeah.
there. So yeah, and like that's probably it. But yeah, so but besides that, this is gonna be it, But I'm
So if
super
they haven't seen
excited.
you, what can they expect from you?
High energy show, right? Emotional music, right? But also a good time, a fun time. We're serious in what we sing about, but the show is fun, right? Like we get up there, shake our butts, like do high kicks and jump around, have a good time. And that's what we expect from the audience as well, as for them to have a good time. Because again, nobody wants to go to a show and just see guys standing there with guitars like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
they want a show. They want to leave their everyday horrible lives because I know what people go through to go to these shows, right? To like leave their troubles at the door and
Mhm.
enjoy a freaking show. And that's what we try and do.
And that's going to be coming March 12th, UBS Arena. It's the funeral portrait. You're going to be opening, and then Sleep Theory, I Prevail, 3 Days Grace going to be the headliners. And I guess, Lee, finally, we were talking about, because most of the songs were written before and during COVID. So in that time, you've recorded, you have these three number ones. The album's been out for, I'm going to remind you about that. Keep on, because that's a good feat, my friend. Not many new bands could do that. Return to Dust just did it, and you did it. But I'm sure there's a lot of new material that's in the burning stages right now, or in the boiler room. So when is that going to be coming out? Is there any talk about maybe next year or end of this year, some new funeral portrait music?
We don't fully know. We are in the studio writing and recording at the moment, right? So
Okay.
like it's one of those things that like I want to have the best debut record. So I'm going to say it the third time because I think for every record, I treat it like a debut record because um, it has its own voice. It's going to have its own voice. It's going to have its own imagery. It's going to have everything is going to be the same but different,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, we are working. I think we have about 7 songs demoed out. I don't know if all 7 of those will make the record. I want about probably 20 songs
Mhm.
to pick from because like we did that for the record, right? We had like 25 songs that we like demoed out for the record. And since then we released a lot of them on our deluxe edition,
Yes.
and then on top of that, we even have songs that I guess if we wanted to put out like a from the vault kind of thing, we could, because there's even songs from that last record demos that I'm like, those are so good.
Well, that's the
But they
cool
don't.
thing with like digital. I mean, I know
Mhm.
there are people that like the physical of vinyl and CDs, but the cool thing with digital is you can take all these songs that you have and just release them as long as the record
Exactly.
label wants you to
Yep.
individually.
Yep. And that's what our plan is.
Yeah.
So we'll
Um,
see what happens. We'll see how this year goes. Right now, I am in the studio writing a bunch of music. So
and we look forward to seeing you on Long Island back again March 12th at UBS Arena.
we're so excited to be there.